Hey there, folks. Tim here. I hope everyone's having a good Monday. I hope you had a good weekend. So I wanted to share this. Early in my career, when I first fell into this industry, I had a really great leader. This is when I was working at Kohl's department stores, by the way. I had this really great leader who always took a moment to remind us, no matter what we were working on, he always reminded us that we're in the business of selling socks and underwear. And we can't lose sight of that in the work that we're doing. And I share that because, nowadays there's so much noise about what you should or shouldn't be doing to future-proof your career, what tools you should and shouldn't be using, how you should be prompt engineering, or whether or not you should be creating gamified badge scenarios or what have you, right? There's just so much noise about that. And the thing that we have to remember is that future-proofing your career isn't about adopting the latest buzzword or the latest tool or the latest technology or learning how to write a better prompt or how to generate static learning content at scale. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to workplace learning and development, we're really not in the business of learning. We're in the business of the business. And so if you want to future-proof your career as an instructional designer, as a learning and development leader, as an e-learning developer, whatever you want to call yourself, if you're wanting to future-proof your career, you have to learn how to embed yourself in the business in which you operate. How does your business make money? Go find out who runs that part of the business. Build relationships with them. Find out what keeps them up at night. Figure out what their goals and strategies are for 2025 and 2026 and 2027. And then look at your work and ask yourself, are there goals and strategies embedded in the work that I'm doing? Or am I just, churning out content that really doesn't do anything to drive revenue for the business? How does what you do connect with the people who are making money for the business? Because at the end of the day, when we set everything else aside, that's all that matters, is the business making money, right? That's how you future-proof your career, is you make sure your work is aligned with how the business is making money. And you become an invaluable asset in supporting those goals, not just somebody who's sitting adjacent to it, churning out static, pointless content, all right? So I want to know, how have you learned to embed yourself in the business? How are you building relationships with those that drive revenue for the business? And how does that play into future-proofing your career? All right, let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, have a great Monday, everyone. Bye.